Hey guys, I am back with another my podcast on my YouTube channel. So Phil noticed such a rigs, and why not just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit of information, and let's get started.
Hi guys, thanks for having me here. So my name is Phil. I am well, I was one of the hosts of the Lethal Geeks podcast. Now I'm in the back end. I'm in the behind the scenes now. So basically, I'm the producer, and I've been a part of the community for some time now. Started the Lethal Geeks with my former partner Charles, and yeah, man, it's been an interesting ride.
Yeah, yeah. Let's not forget, Rough Talks and Cozy is gonna take over. I believe that you guys might take a break or like a live streams or whatever. Might if Cozy and Rough Talk is still around.
Yes, they're the front. They are the face now of the Lethal Geeks. Me and Charles
Okay.
were retired.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was worried about it. If you guys, you and Charles might be still going on, but you guys still working on the other projects. I heard it. You said that last time about the live stream. What was the fan projects or whatever? That and at the end of it, this is your live stream, the last one or whatever it was, right?
Um, there are some, like I said, I'm not leaving the Lethal Geeks. Charles is. Okay.
Ah, okay.
I might come back for some live streams, maybe, but that's not my priority now. My priorities is behind the scenes, making sure content is done, you know, all the heavy lifting work. So and to answer your question, yes, we did say that we have some pet projects that we want to get out. So eventually they'll come out. When, I have no idea. When the time is right, basically, when the
Yeah,
time is right.
yeah. So last time I went to the Yo channel, which is my first. I was there. That if you saw me, I'm wearing this
Hmm.
right now. So I did asking the one question, like whatever you guys decided. So I choose one question only about if Zach is gonna keep posting or whatever is on the Instagram or Vero, whatever. It's on there. So I believe that he's still going on eventually. What Zach was doing, I believe that he was going to keep posting eventually. So I guess this is it. So, but we got to keep our eyes open if Zach will restore it or not, or maybe he's low key to telling us about what he's talking about, what he's sharing with us about the videos or photos, if you will, on Firo or Instagram, if you will. So that's the only I can have a vision in my mind. He knows it, so but he will telling us, but he's not going to tell us until he will. Uh, who knows eventually? So
Hmm. Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah. Let's keep our eyes open because we wanted to see his version of Justice League about his version of Justice League 2 and 3. So to be in conclusion, all right, let's talk about SnyderVerse versus GunnVerse situation. The name of the title. All right, so let's get on
Hmm.
that one before we get into that. Let's talk about that one. Let me put on the screen share right there. All right, this is what we talk about the hashtags double situation. That's why we need to keep restore the SnyderVerse and release the aircut hashtags, whatever is out there. All right, let's keep this one right here. So if you never noticed, I made it up this one. It's called Restore the SnyderVerse. It's about the Henry Cavill's image that as Superman, for example. It's about birth, death, and resurrection. Now, if you never noticed, the last part, the Superman statue right there, it should be that statue is could be this restored or not because like what CS as director is talking about, shout out to them, that a couple years ago he did the video and eventually that statue was talking about that if you never notice his fingers underneath it says like for example look at my these fingers for example I don't know if you he has three
Hmm.
films right here it's underneath these are the three films right here, right?
Mhm.
And the
Right, right.
5 on the top, which is that means 5 arc films on top. You can see the difference. It's ripping apart right there. So what's talking about his version of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. So now what happens in the reality is it's about it's broken the relationship with Zack Snyder. It's because of fucking WB's situation. What do you take on it about that part?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Yes.
It's political. That's it. It's political. It's religion. It's conspiracy theories. Plain and simple.
It
I'm not going to
was.
sugarcoat it. And it takes an open, and it takes how do I phrase this so I can be respectful for your audience? Go back in history and realize the type of content that Hollywood has been doing. All the movies that have been coming out the last 10 years. Forget about the word woke, okay? That's just a symptom. Think about all of the
Yeah.
movies that have been coming out the last 10 to 15 years. They have been movies that have not inspired, that have not given hope, that have not given us any life lessons, nothing. Just like we like to say, slop. There's no meaning on the message. Okay, go compare. Actually, I was watching a reel now before coming in here, and I saw a reel of an Instagram about Christopher Nolan having an interview with James Cameron, and he's explaining about lucid dreams on Inception. I'm assuming you've seen Inception, yes? Have you seen the movie
Yeah.
Inception? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay.
Inception.
So,
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Okay, but you know which one I'm talking. Okay, so those movies, including Snyder's movies, they teach you something. They teach you how to think for yourself. You know what I mean? So that's where the issue is, because James Gunn's movies, they're not making you think anything. They're just making you laugh, but not mentally mature yourself, mature your mind. That's where Zack Snyder's movies excel like a lot, because they make you think on what if there was a man that could actually fly. How would we react? What would be our first instinct? Would we right away get on our knees and pray, or would we running the fuck out and hiding? You know, those are the questions that people ask themselves in real life. But in movies, their interpretations of what the, what the powers that be want you to think. You know what I mean? So that's why Zach has always been ahead of the game. That's why
Yes.
his movies have hit such a nerve on Hollywood and a lot of mainstream viewers who are not used to this type of storytelling. Do you understand my meaning?
Right.
So
Yeah, I
right
could
there
totally
with the
agree with that.
statue,
That's it blows our minds.
because you see
The
right there in
statue,
the statue, 5 stories, 5 fingers. Yes, 5 movies. Okay, 3 done, 2 to
5
go.
arcs. Yes.
What was he trying to tell? He was trying to tell the birth of Superman, the death, the fall, the ascension, Jesus Christ's story. Jesus Christ came to earth. He came, he died,
Thank
he
you.
resurrected, he ascended. That's the story that Zach was trying to tell us. And unfortunately, like I said, that type of story is not part of the Hollywood propaganda machine.
Yeah.
That's why they replaced it with Gunn.
I mean,
which is said converting Superman, who was actually, if you think about it, Jor-El means God. Jor-El
right.
sent his son to earth. God sent Jesus Christ. See the difference? See the connections? Yeah. What I was just saying, that's the type of story that Hollywood does not like it to have, because they're against Christianity topics. Because again, it's about programming, trying to prepare you for future events, this and that. Because like I said, they'll tell you about Catholicism, they'll tell you about Judaism, Buddhism, blah, 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 blah. But the one thing they will not
Right.
touch is Christianity.
Well, I was about to tell you about that. You know what that reminds me of the similar Moses from the Ten Commandments, when the family is sent into the adoption and the family adopted it into Egyptian family or whatever, until when he was growing up, that he'll become Moses, as the belief that he talks to a God, basically. Now, this was reminds me of similar. That's when I got to tell you about that. You know what I mean? When Jesus Christ was born, then Moses is a similar, looks like when Joel sent to planet Earth. And then you have the only kid has adopted Ken's, and now he's part on his own growing up. You know what reminds me? That's something. That's Ten Commandments.
The Ten Commandments.
Remember
Okay.
the 1950s?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the same similar looks like. Yeah, that's spideration right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is something like Jesus Christ and Moses, which is that's called spideration. You know what I mean? This is something like, and now how do you explain to Hollywood? They don't care about this. I mean, come on, don't get me started with the James Gunn stuff. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
He's just a symptom of the actual problem in Hollywood, because, like I said, Hollywood does not make movies just because they want to entertain us. They make movies with agendas. That's the reality. And honestly, it sucks, because we as human beings, we get up, we go to work, try to provide for our families, you know, try to live a normal, decent life. And when we get home after a long day of hard work, studying, whatever, all we want is just get away, a little escapism. You know, me personally, like I barely watch movies now. I barely watch movies because I know where my mind has been opened in a way that I can detect and smell now. When I know there's a movie that's really going to be worth my time and also money, like movies nowadays, going to the theaters it's not cheap. So in order for me to I can smell basically. That's what I'm kind of saying now. So when I know that there's a movie that's going to be worth my time, that it's going to teach me something, then okay, I will invest my time in it. But like the majority of stuff's coming out now, it's been like the one movie I went to see, the last movie I went to see now, Disclosure Day. I went to see that one of Steven Spielberg about the revelation of aliens and all that going on, because that's a topic that, you know, again, why did Steven Spielberg make that movie now? Because they told him
exactly.
They're trying to prepare us human beings of what's coming. You see the patterns?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's shocking. I didn't know this. And I'm like, this is mind blowing. So why did Hollywood keep this up? I mean, if you, for example, if we're going to go see James Gunn's DCU, there's no way we can't deal with it because nobody goes to see this. I saw this at the time of this recording, the whatever is out there. I just saw the screenshot right there. And guess what? Nobody shows it. Nobody's showing up because until we want to see this right here. So I guess this is mind blowing right there. I'm like, oh, now we get something. I'm like, and I will talk about the super drunk girl. We'll deal with it later after because it's totally sucked. What after James Gunn's Superman, but that has succeeded. But I never got a soul out. Never, not even one single chance to it. And I'm like, whatever. So this is, I totally agree with what you're saying about this image right here. Why can't it be never used it like that anymore? So let's talk about that one. The different ones is the myth right here. This quote's from the Joseph Campbell. If you never noticed, there's a translate the Credolians into the English. If you read this part, there's some 4 parts, I believe. What's your take on about these translates about these suits? I'm familiar because this was going on that from BVS behind the scenes, if you never noticed, what's your take on about the Kryptonians into the English? If you never noticed, that's Joseph Campbell's quotes. I believe that that's from that's his own words, Joseph Campbell. What's your take on that?
Yeah, no, and like the fact that Snyder was able to go into depth and detail with the mythology, like it proves it right there in the image. You see scripture in the suit, kind of represents like the Bible.
It was. Yeah, no wonder why. Yeah, that's a good question about the Bible. I just looked it up already. This was not too long ago. So this was call it a myth or a mythology, if you will. So this exactly my point right there, because it looks like it. The from Kryptonian's words into the English translate reminds me of the Egyptian or whatever. They mix it up, so it kind of looks like similar. But I do believe what Joseph Campbell is talking about. That this is like you. I totally agree. You saying this is the Bible looks like it.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
All you have to do is all you have to do is read the translation and put the pieces together. What does it reflect?
Yeah,
God's son.
Yeah, that is what it is, man. Yeah, so let's get onto it quickly. This one, I like this one the most. Okay, so you can tell there's a details that all these heroes. Yeah, this one. Sure, Superman is Jesus Christ. I get it. We get the point. Now, Batman is Saint Sebastian. I didn't know this. What that one, and Wonder Woman was Saint Joan of Arc or something like that.
Joan of Arc. She was in the
that one.
She was in the, I think it was the 1600s. Was it 1600, 15? I don't remember, but yeah, she was French, basically around.
They must. Oh, it's a French. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. I think it's a decades ago, whatever reason. Now, Aquaman. Okay, yeah. So Aquaman, you got
Poseidon.
Staff. Yeah, and Poseidon. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. Now, Cyborg is the Vigilant Man, because it's kind of looks like the artwork looks like a man that have pieces of like a art. Now, the last one is the Flash as Hermes. It's looked like the wings or another staff on it or whatever. He's faster than this man before he was the Flash. What
he was the messenger of Hermes was the messenger of
what Zack is
doing.
This is after the Snyder cut. Yes, they believe in gods because that's what we wanted to see this, but not like James Gunn's ridiculous woke agendas. This is not what we want this. I mean, come on, people needs to be learn to hard lesson before that. If you do that, then do it, but not like as we know it now. I'm like, it's called inspiration mythology. Look at this. That Zack gave us something. This is what we wanted. What did they inspire you? That's right. Before the Zack Snyder, it was this one. Where did that come from? What did you think of that?
I think Zack was onto something. He used ancient mythology and mixed it up with modern day storytelling to give us something epic that, and quite honestly, bold. Because again, like I said, no one in Hollywood was allowed to do this type of storytelling. But if you think about it also, and this is something that we have banged the drum many times, and I'm sure you and other YouTube channels have, that like everybody blames, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel sucked. Okay, first of all, Zack Snyder just directed that movie. He did not write the fucking story. That was all Christopher Nolan. But again, they like to point Zack on as the boogeyman. You know what I mean? So what did Zack do after? He worked from that script on to telling the rest of the, So you guys want to blame somebody? Blame Nolan. Don't blame Zack.
No, don't blame Zack. I mean, blame us. I mean, why? I mean, you can tell that this is called art. A piece is a painting. You can tell that's art.
Yep.
Don't get me started at James Gunn, but Zack, on the other hand, that's the pure art, like a painting artist or whatever you call it, like a decades. This is art. You can tell that that's the difference right there. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
man.
way beyond my mind. I was like, what are you thinking? Everybody, why are you gonna go see us shilling whatever? These people, they didn't care. And I go, whatever. I mean, don't care for it anymore. So stick with that for now. So let's talk about that one. I saw that the other day ago was something. This is hint. This one right there.
Oh, that's
This
nice.
image
Which
is blows my mind. This one is Nightmare Batman versus Superman and Darkseid. This is drawing sketches. This is we never noticed, or do you think this is if we saw this or not? It kind of looks like a drawing sketches.
where'd you
It
get
kind
this
of looks like
sketch?
a concept art.
Is
It
is this fan art or is this something official? Like I've never seen this one before.
No. I believe that that's the sketches what Zach was doing. This is beyond the Justice League 2 and
Oh,
3.
okay.
So we never
Gotcha.
saw this coming. Yeah, that one. Yeah, this one I saw this and I was like, I gotta show this. And then this is a couple days ago at the time I was recording right now. It was like, oh shit, now we get it something.
I'll give you something
Yeah.
else that could be mind blowing. Remember on Man of Steel when Zach what was that when Superman and Zod they're speaking like in a dream and the skulls
Yes.
are on the floor. Kind of reminds you of Terminator Judgment Day. So in the way this sketch,
Oh,
you know,
that one, yeah, it kind of looks like
you
it.
know,
Yeah, that's what reference is an Easter egg. And then you never notice the dream sequence when he's talking to each other, like a dream sequence, and then Superman is fully out apart when it's going to the destructions or something like that. Was General Zod is going to the plan, and then all of a sudden they just wanted to build Krypton again, and then this is way beyond of when how Superman's got to stop a General Zod until then in the end, now he's saved. But now this never happened until later. This one, that drawing sketches, that's what happens when Darkseid showing up because he found an into life equation where he's talking about Lois Lane is the key. So Superman, he thought it was told Batman where he's trying to protect Lois Lane because she has the unborn child for whatever is out there from the Justice League 2 and 3. If you never noticed the Snyder Cut, Lois Lane has pregnancy because that storyline was Injustice before his version of Justice League in Justice League 2 and 3. This is beyond it right there. I was like, if you never noticed what Zach is talking about on this was years ago with something before Snyder Cut comes out, and this is why because Darkseid has murdered Lois Lane, and then he thought it was like, now he's gonna murder the Batman if he don't protect Lois Lane because Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, he convinced the Darkseid or Jeddah Joker, whatever, trying to murder Lois Lane. That's the key.
right?
This is beyond right there. Okay, so is there any thoughts about this? I mean, this is beyond right
No, like
here.
I
I'm
like
like,
I like this.
okay,
Like I said,
that's
I like the
interesting though.
sketch. I like the sketch. You know,
Yeah.
it's a cool concept. You know, it's. I mean, what could have been? What could have been?
Yeah, this should have been. I'm like, this is Cyborg's vision talking about. We've been in the middle too late before this one. I'm like, it blows my mind, man. All right, so let's get on to that one here. Let's talk about the Ellicott situation. Now, I put a collage right here. You never noticed. Shout out to Strong on Flicks, T Flame. He has a YouTube channel talks about the Ellicott's David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Look at this, all these details that you never notice. There's underneath it kind of looks like a demon. They will look like a Illuminati or whatever. And then there's a kind of looks like a lady demon, Enchantress or whatever. Now, if you never notice, also Generato's Joker is begging. Why does he look at this guy on the left? He says like in the point in here, it's like, why does it Master T is holding at a gun?
Right.
Theatrical cut when General Stroker shot it at him. Now the Joker, he keeps talking from him, and now Master T is shooting himself in the head. And this is what they're exactly talking about. If you remember, the theatrical cut is saying like honka honka. This is completely reshoots. Now, if you never noticed that this side on the middle on the right, do you believe that's Steppenwolf? It's right here. So the theatrical or the extended cut, it's the same shit. Like it's completely reshoots. Now the General's Joker, when he has burned half in the face and then the grenades, this whole detail on it. Right, that one. Now there's Ben Affleck's Batman, and now what he's saying is like, he talks to Harley Quinn. What he says, like, for example, he took something from me. Now I'm gonna take something from him. That's what I see was saying is talking about. This whole details. I try to collage his photos as best as I can. So, what do you think on about this one?
I mean, it's another movie that we were denied.
I know.
And this is already done. It's filmed. It's done. But again, I already told you why they won't give us this. They won't give us this. I know,
but there's another cut, because there's another cut that's out there. It was after Snyder cut, and now there's Ayla cut, because we never saw this coming. And of course, there's other ones. Sure, there's Ben Affleck's Batman. There's some missing added the scenes in there. If you never noticed the Steppenwolf, it's the same design before the Snyder cut. That's what it gave us. It blows my mind here. They should have just released in the Ayla cut already. This just blows my mind. I'm like, really? But here's what happened in the reality is that, for an example, James Gunn, he never liked Cheddar Rental in real life. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he has he hates him about personal life. I don't know. That's just me. When CS is talking about, he said it that because that James Gunn never liked Jared Leto. Yeah.
Listen, you're not gonna get along with everybody in life. Doesn't matter if it's Hollywood, doesn't matter if it's regular people. You know, some people like each other, some people don't. One thing I learned from Christian Bale in his interviews is like, listen, if you see me in the street, don't come to me. You know, I don't want to meet my heroes in real life. And it's true. You know, you might get lucky. You might get lucky that some people might be cool people and people are just assholes. And maybe they're just having a bad day. I've experienced that myself because I've shared this story. I met Tom Welling years ago back in Boston when I bartended, and I caught him on a bad day.
Really?
You know, I caught him on a bad day. So that's why, you know, like I've learned to, like, you know what, accept the fact that celebrities are just, they can have all the fucking money in the world, all the fame, blah, blah, blah. They're people. They're just people. So we shouldn't put them in a pedestal. They're just regular people. And some days they're going to have good days. Some days they're gonna have bad days, just like you and me, you know. So I don't take much. I don't take it too much to heart when it comes to like the gossip. Oh, this guy, this. And I'm like, whatever. Just do your job, entertain, make me laugh, make me cry, educate me, teach me something. You know, that's how I look at things now.
Yeah. But to me, it was like, this is fucked up. Like, if James Gunn doesn't like Jared Leto, all right, that's fine. That's his personal problems. I'm like, what CS director is talking about, I'm like, all right, let me give you quickly here. Here's my response to this. Hold on. We're gonna keep it while it's closed and while it's locked. There you go.
Nice.
But same reason, if they don't restore the SnyderVerse and release the air cut, don't do it, because James Gunn is still around at WB and DC. This is what we're at right now. I guarantee you for this. I'm just saying to you is, let's keep it while it's closed and while it's locked. I'm just saying to you is, I'm like, okay, no worries, whatever. So I'm just saying to you.
Don't worry. They're feeling the pain. Like, they're feeling it. I mean, look, Supergirl drops 70% on second week. Let me say that again. 70%. I've never heard a movie drop 70% that fast.
Wow. Super Drunk Girl, it bombed. That's why I have a vision. So after that come out, it fucking failed. I gotta tell you this. Now let's get into this one right here. Here, get ready for this. Here's what my memes looks like. Here's my fucking meme looks like. Here you go. This is James Gunn's Diaper Man, or
I like the one in the middle.
bullshit.
It referenced like the Ghostbusters. That's a good one.
Gunbusters.
Gunbusters.
Let's bust it at James Gunn. Gunbusters. Let's bust into this motherfucker right there. And you can see it. There's a lot of details on it. Look at this. On the top, it says Gun Random. And I was like, what the hell they were doing? And look at this in the middle part right here. Oh, obey. Cut the bullshit, man. Let's say, what's it called? Boycott the GunnVerse. The rainbows behind it. That's James Gunn's woke agendas. And there's a lot of difference. What's it called? Wannabe James Gunn? Pay shills. That's what they're shilling people out there. You know what I mean? They're shilling channels, I should say. They were fucking idiots. They had no idea what they were doing. And then this whole thing.
They got paid, dude.
No, look at this, James.
They got paid. Those shill channels. Let me say this.
I know.
They know a lot of these YouTube channels, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They like to pretend they're stupid. They like to pretend they're ignorant. They're not stupid. They know what the fuck they were doing, and they took the money or the access or the fucking t-shirts, hats, or whatever. They took it all.
Hats on, whatever. Yeah.
And this is one thing that I also love, and I thank Christopher Nolan for it, that he said no social media influencers for the Odyssey, because social media influencers, sorry, we're nobodies. We are not film critics. We are not people who have studied filming, movie industry, cinematography, none of that. These guys have. So if you're going to critique and review a film, then have the background. Do you think this fucking kid Soups has the goddamn background? No. He's just a fucking spoiled little kid. I know he's in his 20s, whatever. I'm 42. Whatever, doesn't matter. I'm older than him. Do you think this fucking kid gives a shit? But that's the problem we're having nowadays, is because there's too many social media influencers that just say yes to the studio so they can get their piece of the pie, and then later get the access, and then later this is what happens. And this is why we at the Lethal Geeks remain firm when it comes to our audience. Because the audience, when it comes, good luck trying to get it back. I'd rather be authentic, be real. If I don't like, if in the future, let's say a movie studio comes to the Lethal Geeks in the future, because we have plans to expand. You know, I'm not going to share those here, but we already, you can go watch our last live stream video and get the details there. But if we do get, let's say, access, we're not betraying our convictions. All right, you want to give us info? Cool. You want us to talk good about a movie? Cool. But we're going to be straight up honest. We're not going to lie. And if you can't accept the honest criticism, then I'd rather not have the access. Because do you know how hard it is to rebuild your credibility after you've spawned it?
Right.
It ain't easy. And I know some YouTube channels that their credibility has gone to the toilet, and they keep rambling like motherfuckers online because they think they're loud. But at the end of the day, nobody cares what they say, because they've been exposed. And all of this with James Gunn, a lot of guys have been exposed now. A lot.
Oh my God. I mean, there are a lot of it. Now, if you remember Revenge of the Sith, the Star Wars, I made it up at that one. When James Gunn, as Emperor Palpatine when he talks to the stormtroopers or whatever. Now, because before that they're shelling, and now that they're shelling now. So when James Gunn tells him what Emperor Palpatine, let's say talking to the stormtroopers, what he tells them say like execute Order 66, and then what happens? Selling out and killing all. They're all shelling this. They're killing the SnyderVerse community, and now they're part of it, the GunnVerse community. And I go, what the fuck? This is all the part of the plan. And I go, we didn't know this. So they're betraying us right there. So, honey, if you never noticed the background, that's their circus land. Come on, people. This is completely nonsense out there. There's the rest of it, all the details. Yeah, and even James Gunn just type it down and say, no, don't do it. What the fuck, man? This is nonsense, man. You can never notice that one right there. This is fucking beyond my mind. I'm like, whatever. Now let's get into the last one. But that one I made it up a second. Now we're getting to this James Gunn's Diaper Man, the Super Truck Girl. This is fucking my memes right there. Come on, man. Oh, wait a sec. Let me ask you something. How was the James Gunn's Diaper Man? Oh, that is succeeded, right? But what about Super Trunk Girl? It fucking flopped. How to explain this? I told you, this is the beginning. I just have a vision. So a few months ago before this is what happens. I like to call it Guardians of the Metropolis and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4. I'll explain this. That's my memes. Look at this. Hello, people. This is fucking beyond of my mind here. This is my memes right here. So what's your take on about that? So this is, sometimes it succeeded, but this one's flopped, I believe. So I just hope James Gunn will be out until 2027 in spring, not summer, spring. I hope that this is flopped. So what's your take on that? So
honestly, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if they tax write it off. That's just my take. I would not be surprised because, I mean, all the trades are already eating Gunn and Safran. You know, they're trying to like Safran's saying, "Oh, this is just part of the long-term strategy. We know it was a disappointment, but it doesn't affect our long-term strategy." Go fuck yourself, dude. All right, writing's on the wall. We're not stupid.
We told you before.
You said you wanted to expand the DC brand, like fucking our Robert Meyer Burnett said. It has to be. It has to be. It didn't happen. Why? Because you got half of the fucking audience plus inflation. So Man of Steel almost made $1 billion in today's dollars. Take for that what you will.
Right.
Supergirl, 70% drop. It's going down. Nobody gave a shit about Creature Commandos. Nobody gave a shit about Peacemaker. The Lantern show is a joke because, first of all, they don't even understand that. First of all, the Lanterns, they don't have suits. They use their freaking ring to get their to get suited up. Even
right.
What's it called? Ryan Reynolds' movie got that right. Even though the movie sucked, but at least they got that part right.
At least I like the Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
What else? Like Clayface. Like, what the fuck, man? Why are we doing Clayface?
Oh yeah, Clayface. It's another one. Yeah.
The only DC movie I'm kind of hyped for is the Batman Part 2. Even though I would prefer Ben Affleck Batman, but the Batman with Robert Pattinson, I didn't find it. I didn't think it was a bad movie. Could have been better. Yes, it could have been much better. But I'm like, you know what? I have no problem giving Matt Reeves his trilogy because I know the guy can do good filming. Robert Pattinson, ever since Twilight, he has polished himself as an actor very well. I would bulk him up a little bit more for the role, but let's see what happens on the second movie. But that's the only movie I'm kind of hyped for the Batman Part 2. Everything else is just I'm good. I'm staying home. I'm not watching it.
No, that better stay home. Do not watch Matt Reeves, the Batman 2, because someone has called him Hack Reeves, I should say. What the hell? Someone has called him Hack Reeves or whatever. That's a funny joke right there. Okay, we're gonna take any seconds or minutes. There you go, lanterns, or should I say brown lanterns or diarrhea lanterns? It's another thing. Fucking, it's not even the green suits. I can't believe it. This is fucking beyond. Looks like it kind of looks like that's the memes right here. Looks like it, and I think it's on the HBO Max, but I am not gonna watch it. This is. Look at it, Ryan Reynolds or some of the other ones. It looks better than this one. Shit. This is a James Gunn. Looks like this is a freaking beyond Guy Gunner. He kind of looks like it reminds me of Mo, the Three Stooges. It's not even a Guy Gunner. Come on, seriously, it's yeah. That's the memes right there. And this one, it's not even the Green Lantern suit. Come on. You think that's Hal Jordan, but where is the green suit? Look at this. It's pure shit. Look at this. That's the memes. What did you take on in that, for example?
It's shit. It's shit.
It was complete shit. Oh my God.
There's no other way to put it. You know, it's just like this is what bothers me is that they and this is a recurring pattern also. They don't want so Gunn and Gunn doesn't just do this. I think Feige also gives instructions to these creatives. Do not read the source material. Basically, that's it. Don't read the stories. Don't read the comic books. Why? Because, again, they have their agenda. They need to fit everything in their agenda. Did you see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?
I seen it once, yeah. I saw it in the theaters, yeah.
Okay. Sam Raimi never saw WandaVision. So he had no idea about what of the background of the backstory. He had no idea at all, not even glimpse of the show. Just to give you an example. When it comes to Peacemaker, that is not Peacemaker. And I'm not a Peacemaker fan. I didn't even know Peacemaker existed until the show came up. But basically what I've heard online, same thing with Vigilante, it's nothing compared to what the actual comic book, the actual character is in writing. And Gunn told Cena, don't read the comics. Don't read the comics. Don't read the comics.
Oh, wow.
And what did he do? Like a good boy, like when he got butt naked in the Oscars, he got with the program. Now, why do I love, for instance, John Berthel's The Punisher? Because he actually did his homework. He actually went to comic book stores and get the material. And even comic book owners said, no, don't read this, don't read that, read this, also that one, avoid this one. So that's when you can appreciate an actor taking these characters seriously, because yes, these characters, these superheroes, they're characters that are larger than life that we use, that in a way it's our religion, you know, it's part of our DNA. These characters mean things to us. They mean escapism, they mean inspiration, motivation, you know, all whatever these characters do to you as a person, to inspire you to be better, then yeah, you expect these characters to be honored when they come into the big screen or even on TV. That's why this shit with the lanterns, it's gonna flop also, dude. It's gonna flop. And the fact that they were also joking, oh, there's not enough green, and then look, I think the creator's like, oh yeah, there's green here. Look, this little piece of green right here. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's not the fucking point. But again, they're trying to make it a joke. Why? Because James Gunn only hired people that have a that are sick-minded like him. You can quote me on that.
Yeah. So if you never noticed okay, so yeah, so like I saying, like I don't think it's not gonna do that. Do your homework instead of, you know, what does he do? James Gunn writing notes, and then you're gonna go that direction and instead. So this is
Like I
beyond
saw,
right there. So let
I
me
was so, I was seeing now before we move on. I was seeing now with the reviews of Supergirl that well, first of all, Gunn directed that movie. He shadow directed it. So don't so people out there don't think that he didn't he fucking directed that movie. He just couldn't take the fucking credit. Okay? And
oh my
also
god.
they were trying to so it's like the Craig Gazzelli cut and the studio cut, but in reality it's the Gunn cut.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Where they
yeah.
were having
That one,
issues
yeah.
was with the music, because again, Gunn has to put his fucking crazy, ridiculous music in the goddamn movies where it doesn't make
Yes.
sense.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I totally agree. So now, how do you explain? We'll talk about this one. We're gonna do the last one part. Hold on. This is fucking beyond this super drunk girl. I never saw that movie until spoilers comes out, and you know what happened? They put a spoilers right there. If you never noticed, I recommend someone make those memes right there. This is fucking beyond. They gotta go to, instead of, let's say, I thought Supergirl Women on Tomorrow, they should have used the comic book storyline, like a comic book version, right? So if you look at it in the film, how they explain this? Instead, if you look at it right here, that's James Gunn's notes. This is fucking beyond a fucking fail. That's what I'm saying. I can totally agree with you, because look at this. If these fans wanted to join it, all right, I will not got against it. No, so I just ignore it. I don't care. But this, it makes me laughable. It's fucking beyond right there. It was like, look at this on the top, says, you get the point. I won't say the word, but this is, oh my god. You know what has happened? That's James Gunn's doing. You know what I'm saying? They're shilling, and then they're gonna eat their shit. Look at this. Oh my god, what is your take on this meme? Shout out this person, he made it that meme as soon as they can to figure it out. This is a final version. I was like, is that supposed to be this movie comes out? The super drunk girl looks like what they eat it and shit. Kind of looks like, oh, I should have known. I told you this is something. No, I'll pass for this shit. I was like, what the fucking ever. I was like, oh, this
You
is
know
fucking
what's
my
sad?
mind. Yeah.
You know what's sad about all this is that these actors, these performers, they're not doing themselves any favors, like when it comes to making these movies, because like, let's face it, like they see the news, they see the comments, they see what people feel about DC and everything, and yet they still take the job. That's the
Right.
sad part, and I feel bad for them. Of all people, I feel bad for Jason Momoa, because his career
Oh.
has not been. I mean, he's doing okay. You know, he's got the money, he's got his other venture businesses, and he's going to be fine. But when it comes to the movies, you know, they have they've been going down. You know,
I told you, yeah.
and I know that Gunn pretty much used his kryptonite on Momoa, because yes, Momoa always wanted to play Lobo, and honestly, that's the only thing that I will rescue of this movie. But I'm sorry, his costume looks like shit. It's a rubber suit.
It
It's
was
a
Robert
fucking
Suit, yeah.
rubber suit.
It kind of looks like
Yeah.
David Coswitz Superman, let's say Diaper Man. It's always bagging Robert Suit. I shouldn't say that, yeah. It's pretty pathetic, but they will look like a MCU 2.0 suits. That's what I'm thinking. come on, be traditional, do your own study with this shit. And I'm like, otherwise, look at this. That's how it is. If you never noticed, like you're saying, Peacemaker, I never got into that, never. Or should I say Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, that's another bullshit. The Suicide Squad is always failed because James Gunn's wanted to do writing the notes. I mean, come on, people. This is, it blows my mind. I was like, come on, though. If they shilling wanted to continue successfully, all right, that's their problem, not us. The James Gunn Superman, what was Man of Tomorrow? It kind of looks like a Buzz Lightyear inspiration of the
Infinity and Beyond.
Yes, it's another flop is up next. If this happens, another flop, don't fucking watch it. Just go rather see another films.
You know what? Thank you for reminding me. Adria Arjona is going to play Wonder Woman in Man of Tomorrow. So there's another one, and I know why she got the gig, because she's Momoa's, well, girlfriend, I guess, or whatever. So it's like, come on, man. Like I honestly wish if I could literally speak in person with these actors and tell them, why are you taking this job? Because one thing I told people on the podcast, don't go after Corn Sweat. Don't blame these actors because they're just taking jobs, because yeah, some of them, they need the work. I get it. But at what cost? At what cost for your career, your reputation? Do you think this is going to help Millie Alcock?
No. I just thought that any actress should be Supergirl, that movie, instead of this. That's not Supergirl looks like. Because I saw that the memes kind of looks like a Sid from Toy Story. That's what I'm saying as much. Thank you. What else is going on talking about? Oh yeah, there's another thing that never happened about what's it called? James Gunn's God and Monsters. They cancellation of Amanda Waller, The Authority, Paradise Lost, Swamp Thing, and I forgot it was his name in a different one. But that all the cancellation. The what?
The Authority.
The Authority, yeah, I mentioned that one before. So The Authority, that's cancellation. It's the only proof because they don't have. It's cost a lot of money. So what happens to Gods and Monsters? Peter Safran told James Gunn that they decided to go to a super family, which is Superman and Supergirl, which just makes no sense. Why? Because they're gonna go that direction. All right, this is. Some of them succeeded, and some of the others, that all these cancellations from when James Gunn announced, he's lying on all this. So then, because they didn't have enough a budget or whatever reason, I just hope James Gunn will be out soon. Maybe next year, spring. Well, I shouldn't say before spring. This is gonna be out. I guarantee you, will be. SnyderVerse will become back as long as Zack Snyder, as long as Zack Snyder will be back, because he was at Paramount, because while he was working on what I heard, Brawler, which says Brawler, it's in a Paramount movie. Now, Escape from New York, the remake, it's on its way. So I just wanted to mention, thanks to you mentioned that before. So it's kind of looks like a remake movie. So Escape from New York, all right, I'm down with that. Let's go for that. So, and I don't know when it's come out, The Last Photograph and Brawler, and even Escape from New York. That's out. Let's see what happens until the future. Let's say Zack Snyder was supposed to be. Should be charged at DC instead of the fucking James Gunn? Come on. For real. That's what Snyder I take on that. What did you take on for this?
Snyder does not want to be in charge of any studio. Snyder just wants to tell stories. What the studios needs to do is let creatives do their thing. Period. That's it. Let's not listen. if Snyder, like Snyder was in charge of the DCEU, basically. He wasn't in charge of the studio. Well, DC Studios didn't exist then. Okay.
Mhm.
But everything was running in parallel for his vision, for where the Justice League was going, the whole thing, the whole nine. So, and I think even Nerderotic already said it. Gary said, like, yeah, DC was more organized when Snyder was around. Things got done. Quality was there, you know, because again, the shills now.
They're shelling and then they don't want to admit it. That's what I'm thinking about that, because I heard that they
Like I
say
said,
like they don't like Zack Snyder, but now but they want cost money if you want to
no,
consumers
they
us.
get this.
I
Get
I
this.
know. That's what I'm saying. But how to explain some idiots saying like they don't like Zack Snyder, but what can we do? You know, it's the studio's problem. When I heard of it, something about when I think I remember what he said is talking about saying like when Zack was doing Adam the Man of Steel, they shouldn't stop. So why WB they don't like it his project to continue with it and at the very beginning before this one. So that's just take on to that. So I just hope for that we're getting his version of Justice League 2 and 3, and we never know until the further notice. And I just hope James Gunn will be out. The contract is out. Will be out soon eventually. If James Gunn is still around, I will not be buying this shit. I don't, because that's why I'm done with this shit. I'm just go buy something else, other films like other studios or whatever. But you know what I mean? It's like, my brain is like, whatever. Let's say the Shilly people, they don't want to admit it, and they say like SnyderVerse is dead. No, they didn't. No, it's still going on. Then we saw that. I already mentioned it about my podcast. You can check out already or not. What other my previously videos, and after that, who knows? So, all right. So let's take on our final thoughts. So, all right. So, any final thoughts about this situation?
No, man. Honestly, just keep your wallets closed, man. Basically, like if you don't pay for something you didn't ask for. At the end of the day, we are the ones that give these companies money. I've told you already. They are trying to weaken our mental capacities to process things. That's why they're giving us too much slop. The MCU's also been giving us too much slop. Slop. There's no quality. Okay. Yeah. So if you just because you're a DC, Marvel fan or whatever, just because you're a fan doesn't mean you should be giving away your money where if the quality of storytelling is not there. If you read comics, which I do, I know what I'm looking for on a movie. Like Spider-Man Brand New Day, I'm like, holy shit, they're recreating a lot of the cover scenes, and I'm like, that's what I want to see. That's exactly what I want to see. Bring me the comic to life. You know? Right. Snyder brought so many comics to life. 300, one of the best things I've ever seen.
Or
Watchmen. You know, so it's like, it's okay to not pay to go see a movie and not because if it's a boycott and because it's James Gunn or whatever. If it doesn't feel like what you actually read, then don't bother. There's nothing wrong with it, you know? Yeah. That's just my opinion. But yeah, good talk, man.
Yeah. So
thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime, bro. So let's get in one last thing about this. If you remember, I made the video when James Gunn wants a photo with Zack Snyder. I just made a joke on it in YouTube Shorts. That's why I share it. If you saw this, so that is too funny to me. If you never saw this, go check him out.
I saw it.
It was too funny. I want to make of there's something about the Marys, James Gunn's hair. That is too funny. All right, so Phil, I think that was it, and I hope we'll get it ready for another podcast after that. So, all right, don't forget, click like, comments below, hit subscribe button, and check out the icon bell, notice notifications in case you missed it or not. And let's shout out to the Lethal Geeks I have with Phil and so many of the others. Like we mentioned it before, they were busy at this moment. So Phil, thank you to having me to join me. And what is your take on that? Any one last thoughts about this? And who knows eventually?
No, but I said what I had to say. Thank you.
All right. All right then. I'll see you around, guys, and take care.